Hello everybody. Sealy van came. I seem to get the Sealy tool van about every, say, once a year, twice a year. It's not very often. But we have purchased some items, so I thought I'd do a very quick unboxing. So, not needed. So, I've been trying to find a soldering iron, 100 watt soldering iron for a while, because the one I've got is 20 watt and it's alright for small wires. Not very good for big stuff, and then I ended up with a rather large Chinese one that looked terrible. So this one's got a nice big flat tip on it, so it's more like a screwdriver, so it should transfer heat a lot faster. Let's plug it in and see what happens. Leave that a minute, let it warm up while we do something else. You always get... sounds interesting. Try and catch it on camera if it explodes or sets on fire. You always get a thank you thing with all these as well, which is kind of nice, to be honest, but unnecessary. Torch. I've got loads of these, you've probably seen them in all the videos. I like these torches, I don't know why, they just seem to be... I bought way more expensive torches. I paid with my own money for all this stuff. It's not something that they've given me, so don't think I'm just talking because I'm trying to sell you it. I'm not making any money out of it. These torches are just good torches. It's that simple. The only downside is if you leave them at full brightness, turned right up, they only run for about 4 hours. So the problem is half the time you find that they're flat. Now I've got, so there's that one. I've got a twin, slightly older, slightly dirtier twin, that still works perfectly fine. That's a good torch. This one I bought at the same time as that one. This is same thing, but as you can see there, this has actually got, so you've got the one in the end, and you've also got a UV light as well for dye leaks and that, which is great, but the problem is because that's UV there, this torch is slightly less useful because you can't really, because the reason I like this is because they're thin, so you can stick them in places and still get your arms in there, but because it's got those, it's not quite as good. Then I've got that one, which to be honest, that is, it's quite old. It's the first one of these I ever bought. Still goes. Still works exactly as it should. And it is, I'm going to say, maybe 10 years old. But I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Sometimes, I'm not going to do it now, but sometimes the LEDs flicker. So it is getting towards the end of its life. And then the only other thing I've got is that one, which is the Astro, which everybody says is amazing and brilliant. And it, to be honest with you, it's not a bad torch, but that base is useless. This base is just, you can't lean it down pointing at anything. So you find yourself not using it because it's awkward. Which is why I like these, because you can do that. So you can stick it to something and aim it, see what I mean? Like, they're always nearly flat. I'll put that on charge. So I do like these torches, for good reason. They even came charged. Wunderbar. I do like these torches for all these reasons. You don't get a socket with these, you just get a charging cable. But it's a decent charging cable. Go over there because I already have 4 of those. Again, another thank you and some paperwork. These I bought just because they look fairly decent for what they are. 20 quid plus that. And all they are is storage. And they're magnetic inside apparently. But so you can do that, put your parts in. And they are magnetic, so they do hold on to things. I thought it'd just be useful to have in when you're doing stuff. You can keep your bolts separate for things, so you've got stuff there. So they're not magnetic like that, but you can sit them on the side as a magnetic tray. You can flip them up so that they're angled, and then stuff will stick to the inside. Nice heat pad there for the soldering iron. Oh, that's got some interesting colours. So that's those. Lovely. Last thing I bought. Be careful how you open the box, eh? Yeah. Was this. Let's throw it on the bench. There we go. On the floor. Last thing I bought was this. So it's got Viton seals in it. It's a piston pump. So the idea is you screw this on the end. You have an in and an out. And that pumps fluid. So it's good for oils, so you can use it for filling gearboxes. Pump fuel with it. You also get this plastic hard end, so you can stand that inside a. You could if the hose wasn't slightly too big on one end. Interesting. Yeah, you can stand that inside of a bottle and pump away on. I always find stuff like that useful for filling gearboxes up and stuff like that. I do have an air powered box, but cleaning that out for a litre or 2 litres of oil is a bit of a pain in the arse. So that can get thrown in the, you know, the nice new clean things can get thrown in the bucket of random oily things. Like that. Let's grab some solder. So it feels hot and looks hot. So the big question is, if we take some solder, and that's some thick solder. Oh yeah. So if we be honest, that's wonderful. Turn it off. That'll do. That's not the best solder, it's actually some rubbish stuff I had laying around, but that did instantly start to take and weak in. I won't play with it any more than that. That's a lot faster. You can tell there's a lot more heat in it than there is with the smaller one I've got, which is this green one here. That's the smaller one. It's one of these adjustable ones. It is a Chinese one, but I mean it's a good enough soldering iron, but as you can see the tip is very small, so it's heat transfer on any type of size wire. So like that sort of size it's fine with. Yeah, this sort of thin stuff it's fine with, but as soon as you start getting to this thicker stuff it struggles. So that's why I bought that new one, and that does seem quite a good soldering iron, so that would be good for the thicker wires. Like I say, that solder is the rubbish solder that I've got there, but just for testing purposes, there's no point in wasting good solder. I think that's actually plumbing solder, that one. To be honest, it's made in China, and it does say solder court wire. B1 flux. But to be honest, that's the problem I had. I tried using that on the other soldering iron, and it just takes so much of the heat away touching that to the soldering iron that it's no longer ready to solder by the time you've done it, which is why I've got stuff that size as well. But I've got, and then I've got, I think that's a lead-free one. I don't know who uses, yeah, lead-free. Who uses lead-free solder? I'm trying to talk about making your life hard work. So there we go. There's a few new Sealy tools. One of the employees did buy a set of, he bought a ratchet. I had one of those in a larger size and I broke the head straight off, so I'm going to be keen to see. I did buy mine off of eBay, not off the van, but I'm going to be keen to see if he manages to snap that like I snapped mine, because he bought that because he likes the really fine teeth in it. But my attitude is, if you need a long ratchet, you don't need fine teeth, because he kind of is impressed with this set of laser ones that I've got that are really long. But they're not a fine tooth ratchet. But my attitude is if you're trying to put a ratchet that size on it, you don't need fine teeth. So yeah, there's a few little bits we bought from the Sealy van this time. Thanks for watching.